Hello, my name is Mauricio Aracena. I am the president of VRIF, and today I'm going to talk about immersive media application for 5G. First, I would like to introduce what VRIF it is. It's a non-profit organization established in CES 2017, and the sole purpose is to further widespread availability of high-quality audiovisual VR experiences for the benefit of consumers. Who we are? These are a current membership of VRIF who currently are active in contributing for the VRIF. VRIF performs quite many activities during the year. Our main deliveries are the guidelines, which describe end-to-end interoperability, high-quality VR services. We run interoperability and test events, support our members for different demonstration and relevant industry events such as IBC, NAV, or VR Days. We also do some industry workshops where we explore the current and expected technologies and approaches in virtual reality. And most important, we coordinate with different standardization bodies and other groups so we can widespread the technology that we think the industry needs. VRIF is divided in 4 parallel tracks: VR 360, Volumetric, and Social VR, and 5G Cloud. VR 360 track addresses aspects of capture, distribution, and security of VR 360 content, or 3D degree of freedom. It's based on viewport-dependent technology such as MPEG OMAF technology, which I'm going to talk about soon. It covers use cases such as download, streaming, and live use cases. Our VR technology is based on MPEG OMAF, and our guidelines speak a lot about what is viewport-independent and viewport-dependent. Viewport-independent sends entire VR 360 to the VR headset, while in this case the user only sees a small portion of the complete full 360 image. Viewport dependent is a more optimized version of that, while you only deliver a portion what the user is seeing it, and when you move your head around, you fetch what you need to see from the server, although there are requirements on latency, and you reduce bandwidth requirements. Our guidelines started to write that we delivered at the first time was 4K based OMAF distribution profile, and by having viewport dependent using 4K profile, we could achieve 8K equivalent quality using 4K decoders. However, there are new devices coming up to the market that are 5G capable, and interesting thing is that they support 8K video decoding. So it makes sense to think about whether or not to create a profile that's capable of 8K decoding. You can see the list of devices that today support 8K decoding. VRIF guidelines recently released version 2.2, and we were the first to define 8K profile. Basically, it's the same as viewport independent profile from OMAF, however, it supports 8K 60 video decoding. With this, you can achieve the same resolution per eye as achieved by 4K viewport dependent OMAF profile. The advantage of 8K viewport independent is that it uses existing dash infrastructure and is quite straightforward to implement for the encode, the streaming, and player side. Since you may increase a little bit the bandwidth, this fits quite well since 5G devices support higher capacity, so it's expected that it will be able to cope with the additional bandwidth requirement. This is a technology comparison between different technologies. You can see easily how 8K viewport independent achieve the same quality as 4K viewport dependent. There's an easy way to deliver with traditional dash versus a dash with tiling, where you require a little bit of updates on the network. The integration of security and DRM is much easier with 8K viewport independent. The tiling approach is quite complicated, and it's addressed in the guidelines as well. So this is the summary of the streaming challenge. As you can see, when you create 8K content and you deliver 8K as a viewport independent profile, you have a higher bitrate at network edge because it's 8K. You have higher decoding requirement and low device reach. However, you keep the visual quality and it's traditional streaming. If you use 4K viewport independent, you reduce the quality by downscaling from 8K to 4K, and you deliver as a 4K content. You lower the bitrate at network edge, you lower the decoding requirement since you only need devices that support 4K, Still traditional streaming, however, you reduce the quality since you downscale. With 4K viewport dependent, it's a little bit different. You have 8K content, you deliver only viewport at 4K decoding capabilities, and then the device decodes only 4K, achieving the same quality as it was for 8K. You lower the bitrate at network edge and decoding requirement since it's a 4K device. However, it's more complicated implementation since it requires updates on the dash streaming. Another track that VRIF is covering is about volumetric. It covers updates of capture, production, storage, and distribution format and security of volumetric asset. This is a 6DOF use case. It can be rendered in HMD, AR glasses, and flat screen. We talk about meshes and point cloud format are discussed, as well as compression and distribution mechanism. Here you can have a view of what use cases you can have. You have volumetric streaming assets, where you basically create the boxer here. You can see with the AR glasses. You can get a personal view of the streaming event or the sport event. You can use as a second screen XR with additional information. And also you can enhance the quality of social VR by having realistic avatar representations. Social VR track is address aspect of telecommunication that you basically have real-time VR communication between different people. You have virtual representation of users such as avatar, video, or volumetric representation. You here share live experience and security aspect. And what's important is we look at network requirements are investigated in VRIF. 5G cloud, it's something that addresses all of the other tracks, and we plan in this track consider aspect of how to best utilize 5G and the cloud edge infrastructure to process and distribute XR content to low complexity devices. The goals in VRIF are guide content provider on how to use 5G and cloud edge and promote the transition from device-centric to network-centric content distribution. Cloud XR technology improved the quality of experience through the use of network edge processing resources and enabled immersive experiences on scene devices, such as advanced social VR, volumetric content, and even achieve high-resolution 8K per content. This is a cloud infrastructure. You have an edge server or central server. You have a 5G connectivity to the 5G device, and since you have 5G, you guarantee quality of low latency, high bandwidth, and reliability. So everything is processed in the server and sent as a video to the device. So simply the device can only need to decode and send some information to the server to process XR. You will, with this, enhance the usability of devices, lighter weight, lower processing, decrease battery usage, which is very important. Easy to upgrade the application since you do it in the network, not in the device. You can support more devices as the old devices can become don't need to be so powerful. You don't need to store the content, you just stream it. And basically it's a play-stop approach and no setup is required. What industry needs in order to support advanced immersive service using 5G? First, you need connectivity in the last mile or closer with 5G. With this, you get predictable and reliable low latency, high capacity bandwidth to VR devices, or mobile attached or standalone. You need to achieve a collaboration between cloud and telco providers, a platform that exploits features of 5G and cloud for XR services. That means you need an open platform for application developers and understand that you need to move the apps to the cloud. And finally, in the device, you only need to have a SIM device, a 5G-enabled device, and if you want to reach the high quality of the human, you only need to have an 8K per video decoding at the end. If you want to know more about what we do at VRIF, please look at the website and our mailing list or LinkedIn group for more information, and we hope you become a new member for us. Thank you very much.